Welcome back to Mom Life in the Woods. I'm Karen Logan. Today, we are talking about taking something ordinary, a simple bike ride, and noticing just how beautiful, how calming, and how life giving it can be. That's not an exaggeration, guys. And this is not about fitness goals or fancy equipment. It's about fresh air, steady motion. It's about a feeling you may have forgotten that you love, the wind on your face, the quiet rhythm of pedaling, and seeing the world move by at a pace your nervous system can actually keep up with. And if bike rides have not been part of your routine lately or even ever in your adult life, I want to gently suggest that you might be overlooking one of the easiest, most joyful ways to add a little bit of goodness to your everyday life. No big plan required, no membership, no pressure. So grab your helmet, hold on to your handlebars, and come along with me as we talk about the humble bike ride and how easily it can find its way back into your life. This episode is presented in part by Coach Dion Basketball. Coach Dion Basketball is a structured youth basketball development program in the Woodlands focused on helping kids build confidence and strong fundamentals at the right pace. You can learn more at CoachDion.com. Coach Dion Basketball, the Woodlands' most dedicated coach. Many years ago, it's been about a decade or so, I remember telling a friend of mine that I was in the market for a bicycle. I don't even think I told her. I think I posted it on Facebook, and she said that her husband was a bike enthusiast and he'd be happy to help me pick one out. And I'm like, perfect. Yes, of course. I would love the expert advice. A few days later, my friend sent me an email with her husband's favorite recommendations, and y'all, I could have passed out right then and there. Each bike on that list was around $2,000. $2,000 for a bike. Now, I never told her how wildly out of budget that was for me, but maybe Colette will listen to this episode and find out today. Now, listen, this episode about bike riding, this is not Tour de France. It's not even Tour de Woodlands where we are, okay? Nobody in my house has a $2,000 bike. We barely have $200 bikes. This is me with my girls, sometimes the hubby, pedaling through the neighborhood on our slightly squeaky bikes, one handlebar wrapped in pink tape, somebody's water bottle falling off halfway down the trail. But you know what? Somehow, those rides always end up being the kind of memories that stick with me, the kind that make me stop and think, this is the good stuff. And, we could be doing a lot of other crazy things, all the trendy things that's happening. But this bike ride, this is the good stuff. We don't do it nearly often enough these days. And that's why I'm talking about it, because you and I together are going to start leaning into this more. We're going to start hitting the trails, or maybe just the street if you don't have a trail. And if you are already riding, we're going to make each ride just a little more beautiful. Here's the first thing. If you're not already used to riding your bike, don't try to wait till the perfect moment. Don't overthink the route, the snacks, it's not family spring break in Cancun. You don't have to have on matching t-shirts. It's just a bike ride. And if you're like me, if you have to put too much thought into it, I'm looking at the clouds, it might rain while we're out there, or just it'll never happen. So don't put too much thought into it. Just pick a day, maybe this upcoming Saturday, and say, let's ride. Maybe you'll have a toddler in the trailer behind you. And honestly, that's your workout for the week. Maybe you're going solo. That's okay too. Maybe you're going with older kids who can keep the pace right alongside you. That's perfect. Maybe like me, you'll have a child with special needs who you'll have to encourage a little bit more, or maybe you'll have to help them out a little bit more. Maybe you have a teenager who is hesitant to join you because, face it, that would mean getting them out of their bedrooms. Just remember, what feels like just another ordinary Saturday, something boring or reluctantly attended, could quietly become a memory or a routine or a tradition your child holds on to for years. So let's set the scene. Now, if biking is not a part of your routine right now, you don't have to do all of this. You can absolutely just air up the tires and go. Stay close to the house, keep it simple. Bike rides are lovely all on their own. But I do believe that small things can be made more beautiful with just a little bit of effort and intention. So if you want to lean a little bit more into it, here are a few gentle ideas. Number one, grab a lightweight backpack, toss in some cold water, a couple of granola bars, maybe a towel for sitting on the grass if you happen to make a stop. Number two, bring your phone. Your cell phone, you probably don't leave home without it anyway, but I'm just reminding you, for navigation, any photos, snapshots along the trail. Maybe you want to play a little bit of breezy music. And number three, check the bikes. Air up the tires ahead of time. And this is a great thing to teach your kids to do so that they can have everything going and airing up the tires and helmets on before you even get out there. And then just leave. Yeah, okay, maybe put on sunscreen first. Make sure everybody's dressed appropriately for a bike ride. For me, it's leggings or jeans, or like jeggings, a t shirt, and sneakers. And you don't need to go far, but you can. Like I said, make sure you bring your phone in case you need to use Apple Pay. You'll have refreshments along the way. Sometimes we go to HEB or sometimes there's a food truck that's just there out of nowhere, and we're like, okay, let's grab something. Maybe bring some cash. If you live in the Woodlands, you already know the Woodlands is a biking dream. There are over 220 miles of connected pathways that weave through our neighborhoods, parks, and shopping areas. You can start near your home, end up at Market Street, North Shore Park, Cranebrook Park, the library, all without ever getting into a car. Your legs might be killing you by the time you get so far, but you'll build up the stamina, the strength, the more you're biking. And if you live somewhere else, I'm pretty sure you have riding paths very close by that you can easily get to if you take the time to look. I advise you to check your county's website, see what trailways you can find. Now, for the Woodlands, some of my favorite routes in the area, the waterway, that path, it's scenic, it's breezy, perfect for sunset rides. You can park at the mall. I'm not sure you're supposed to park at the mall and leave, but you can park at the mall. I do. Go all the way down the waterway to Whole Foods and back. There's the George Mitchell Preserve. I think is great for older kids who are looking for a little bit of adventure. I recommend bringing along bug spray no matter the time of year. There's the Rob Fleming Park. You can take that down to Creekside Village Green. That's an easy trail. You have places to grab a treat afterwards. And of course, there are the shaded loops around just the different villages, Panther Creek, Alden Bridge Parks. Those are ideal for little ones still finding their balance. But even if it's just your own cul-de-sac, or you're just riding around the block, or just staying in that space on the street right in front of your house and the neighbors' houses, the key is to get out there, start looking at bike rides differently. So, okay, let's talk about the actual ride. Once you're on the trail or on the street, let go of the rush. This is not a spin class. It's totally okay to just cruise. If you have young kids, notice what they notice. They'll notice the ducks, the way the sun hits the water, the sound of the tires on the pavement. My 11-year-old, she notices the puddles and she makes every effort to ride through them. Wave at the neighbors that you see. What happens if you actually introduce yourself to your neighbor? What happens if you stop to pick a wildflower? What if you have a piece of chalk in your bag and you stop along the route to jot down a note on the path? Or maybe your child wants to draw a rainbow or a heart and write, Jesus loves you, or something. You've got this. Some other kind of encouragement that could be meaningful to someone. Now, these things is what I like to call adding texture to your ride. That's when your brain starts to record it as a memory instead of just another blur of busyness. If you want to make your next family ride feel special, here are a few fun Woodlands inspired ideas. Number one, go for a picnic. So you're going to pack up everything, not too much because you have to carry it. Ride the bikes to a nearby park, bring a small basket, bring your snacks, and enjoy lunch at the park. Number two, a treat stop. Decide ahead of time that you're going to interrupt your ride with a frozen yogurt stop. Maybe it's orange leaf, or maybe it's ice cream at Marble Slab, or a smoothie at Smoothie King. Number three, nature bingo. You can print out a little nature bingo card for the kids or even for yourself. This is something that grown-ups enjoy as well. Things to spot like a squirrel or a yellow flower or a pine cone or someone walking a dog. Number four, photos. This is something that your older kids might enjoy. Challenge your older kids, your husband, if you all have your phones, to snap a photo of something beautiful or funny or something that they notice along the way. And when you get home, you can share those photos with each other. You might be surprised at the different perspectives in someone else's phone that you didn't necessarily see on the ride yourself. I do recommend that you travel with a bike chain and lock so you can step away from the bike, explore a little walking trail if you want to, go inside the corner store without worrying about leaving your bike unattended. And another quick tip is to get your bike ready early. I don't know about you guys, but for my family, our bikes live in the garage. And when our vehicles are parked, it's hard to get to those bikes. So if I know, like this weekend, I want to pull the bikes out, at a time that I'm going to be leaving anyway, I'm taking the minivan to the grocery store or my husband's car is gone. At that time, I'm going to go ahead and pull those bikes down from the storage rack, bring them in the house because, I mean, sometimes they even sit in the foyer for a few days, but if they're ready and I can air up the tires in the comfort of the air conditioned house, and then when it's time to go, there's no shuffling vehicles and stuff around, which, if I'm being honest, that's what makes it hard for me to say let's ride because I'm thinking about, oh, I got to move the vehicles, I got to get the bikes down, I got to get them ready. Get them ready ahead of time. One time I stored my bike in the foyer for a whole week, and because it was so easily accessible, every day, I took it out for a quick spin, right out the front door. It was easy. I didn't feel like I had to go very far for it to be worth it. Sometimes it was just a few rotations right in the cul-de-sac, which is right in front of my house. And since I wasn't going through a lot of trouble getting the bike down, every day I would do that. Take it out for a little bit and bring it back in. It was glorious. I mean, of course, I don't expect you to store your bikes inside by the door all the time, but that's just a tip. When you get home, don't rush back into the house and do chores. That laundry can wait. Maybe sit on the porch for a while, stretch out your legs. Maybe go in and pour everyone some cold lemonade or iced tea, or if it's cold outside, hot chocolate. Ask your kids what their favorite part was. You might be surprised what they remember. It might be something like splashing through a puddle, and it might not be something obvious. They may have to think about it, and asking them that question encourages them to think and give credit to even the little things like maybe that butterfly that we saw. When I think about mom life in the woods, this is what I picture: breezy, unplanned moments like this. We don't need grand vacations or big productions to make memories. Those are nice, but sometimes joy is waiting just outside our garage door with two wheels and a basket. So this week, I want to encourage you to plan one small ride. Maybe it's by yourself after dinner, or you might want to make it a full family Saturday outing. And if you don't have a bike, go ahead and get on. I'm not going to say Craigslist. I think that's a little bit played out, but some people still use Craigslist. If you're on Facebook, get on Facebook Marketplace, get on your neighborhood Facebook groups, find a bike. You'll find one for $35, $50. It doesn't have to be, again, $2,000. Get your bikes, create a plan to go out. However you do it, you're going to feel the wind, soak in the sunshine. If it's cold, bring a jacket. Don't let that stop you. And let the motion of riding your bike remind you that you're doing a beautiful job. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode.